Hey man, so like, bro, how long you been cutting hair, folks?
35. 35 plus years, man. Started this at 11. Here it is now. 46. Still doing what I do.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if you had to like, I don't know, a young kid like, man, I want to get out the streets, but and then you like, hey man, you can cut hair. Is it? Would you? How would you give it to him in a beneficial way? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it sort of won't work that way. It got to be the kid got to be interested in it.
Hmm.
Just like anything else. Because if he don't show interest in it, then he's just not going to do it.
Right.
But if he come with some interest in it, then I do everything I can. Look, clippers, chair, whole nine. I give them the whole drop, whatever they need.
So you telling me you gonna give a kid a whole chair?
Yeah, I'm already done it. I got a little partner right around the corner, CJ. I started cutting his hair when he was about 7, 8, something like that. And he was so intrigued by what I do. He was like, "Man, I want to be a barber." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so when he said that, I locked in, got him some clippers, got him started off. Then a little while later, once I ordered me another chair, just like I'm gonna do with this chair, I'm gonna slide it to him. And he don't come here and get no haircut no more. He cut his own hair.
Right.
Yeah, and he started cutting the football players on the team or whatnot, and he picking up his clientele.
That's what's up.
He stopped through from time to time to get some corners or whatnot. But throughout my career doing this, I done put on probably about 13 other barbers. Yep, got them in position to where they can make money for the rest of their lives. And I ain't never charged them a booth rent or none of that.
Bro, I was just about to ask, like, how much over the years he been charging you?
No, I ain't charged them a dime. My gift came for free. I was born with this, and some people just don't have the know-how on how to get everything going. You know what I'm saying? So I would just move from town to town in our area and open up shops, build up the shop clientele, and find me an individual who want to be a barber and help them get their license, and then drop it on them. Hey man, look, all this you. I'm gonna pay the bills for 6 months until you can handle it on your own. And after that, you're on your way. Send them on their way. I just go to the next spot and start over again. And this is my 10th location, so they tell you how many times I did that. For other individuals.
Man, so like you done put on a bunch of other folk. Like, who put you on?
Nobody. I put myself on.
Man,
what happened was my uncle. He was the barber of the family at first. We like 3 years, almost 4 years different. But I had this funny type of hair when I was growing up. Well, I'm gonna look like a Cuban or something, So he'll come in, he'll cut his partners or whatever, and then they hit the street. So one day he did that. Boy, I was waiting around that corner looking. As soon as he left, I went in there and got those clippers. And my grandma passed through and saw me off in there with the clippers and took me to Fred Dollar Store. Bought me a pair of them old school wall clippers, no adjust, no name. Had your boy in there with the butter knife. You know what I'm saying? Do everything. One pair of clippers, boy. Cut, fade, line, everything. And by the time my 5th grade started, well, I'm cutting hair. I went off and then tried to cut myself a flat top, boy. I ain't know nothing about using the extra mirror, so I'm just in the mirror just like this. Now the front, crispy. On the back, I don't know what's going on.
Toe up.
Boy, I walked off in the class, bro. I was in Longview, Texas at the time. I walked off in class, bro. I'm telling you, man. Prettiest girl at our school, dog. She's a cheerleader, brother. As soon as I walked through the door, she said, "Look at his head." Dog, I was devastated, dog. Killed me, you hear me? I'm talking about murder was the case.
Buddy was ready to end it all.
Man, over with. I'm talking about jump off the school. It's
man.
I went home that day, boy. I cut the freshest bald fade of my life. I ain't never messed up no more.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah, I ain't never messed up again, bro.
That is amazing.
Yeah, but I knew at 16 though, this is what I was gonna do. You know, as I got military and all this stuff, I just went ahead and pursued it. And got some license.
Man,
Hey, and even that story crazy though, because when I went to school, bro, it's a 16-month program. I went for 3 months. 3 months.
90 days.
That's it. First day there, president of the Barber board was there, and I cut this one of my white classmates. He wanted a ball fade. He was from Houston, Texas, so you know.
Yeah,
he was down with the South.
yeah. He wanted it.
Yeah. So I hit him up with the ball fade. The president came over there like, look, you don't need this. I just started laughing. He was like, look, I need you to help teach the other ones, you know. And when my next class graduate, I'm gonna let you graduate with them. I'm like, bet, you know.
Say less.
So I, did what I had to do, and in 3 months, well, they hit me up. Hey, look, you want to walk across the stage, or you just want your license? Man, they gave me my license. They gave me the license. That was the rap. I ain't walk across no stage, no nothing. Gave me my L's. It was up.
That boy went from 16 weeks.
That's it. From 16 months.
16 to 90 days.
90 days. All we were doing, going to the little elementary school, cutting the little kids, man. See, at first though, I went to boys at first, but I ain't like their process, you know.
So what would you say, man, if somebody say you had it easy?
Oh no, ain't no such thing as easy. Ain't no such thing as easy. Now, you can make it look easy, which I have. I'd have made it look easy, but it's not easy at all. It's got to be something that's in you and on you at the same time.
That's interesting. What does that even mean when you say that? It got to be in you and it got to be on you.
Well, first of all, God got to put it there. You feel me? And you think about it though, it makes sense though. You know, as far as like barbers and beauticians, ain't nothing that nobody can do out here without a barber and beautician.
Right.
You know, so who came up with it? It had to be the Most High. You know what I'm saying? If we His children, and He wanted to look a certain way, especially if you got that anointing like that. You know, He wants you to look like it. And so, you know, that's the reason why I felt like He made barbers. Like, fam, I real life spent my whole life cutting everybody hair, even mine. I used my own head as a practice, and then I lost my hair. Real talk. Look, and it wasn't even bittersweet, bro. Because I was like, well, you know, I done learned how to cut hair on my own head, so I don't need my hair no more. I just need everybody else's hair. Easy peasy. But I get in there with that razor, boy. Hey, I don't care what kind of cut you get, boy. You ain't cleaner than me.
Man, that's interesting, man. That's man. That boy said it got to be in you and on you
at the same time. And you ain't no substitutes. You got to be in you and on you at the same time.
Through all your years, man, of doing this, have you seen people like come out the gate swinging and then
just well, yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that because they think, you know, just cutting hair is just like, oh yeah, that's easy money. No, my boy. Imagine in here standing up 16 hours a day in one spot, legs on fire, constantly just, you know, because being a barber is a thinking game. You got to understand, you know, geometry and all this all in one, but you don't speak of it. You just know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Angles and all this different type of stuff. You know, that's all a part of it. But no, it's not easy. I done seen a lot of them start out with this, but like I said, they came in with the wrong mindset. Yeah, I'm gonna go in and make me some quick money. You know, X, Y, Z. Just like on the movie Barbershop, right? You know, Buddy been had this shop there for years.
Right.
New dude come in, he got fish in the flow, and you know, got the basketball goal and everything. And they equate that to being, you know, a good barbershop. Yeah. Zero. That's not what it takes to have a good barbershop.
You said something because I've never thought Man, you standing up 16 hours straight, legs on. Like that's something I've never thought about as watching a barber. Like,
Hmm.
man, you got to sit here and you on your feet for hours.
Hours, hours at a time. Especially when you got a high clientele. Now, some of these jokers, now,
Hmm.
it ain't like that. They might be in there 4 5 hours. But not me. Me, bro, I'm open 6 days a week, and I've been like that for the last 9 years. And the only reason that I am like that is because I have so much, such a high clientele. Um, I want to be available for them. And to me, that's the number one thing into being a successful barber, being available, you know. Then secondly, just time, make sure all your timing and stuff is correct, making sure you're gonna be there for the people, like you say, you know. I don't know, I consider myself a unicorn when it comes to this.
What you mean?
Uh I check all the boxes. You're gonna get a fresh cut, always on time, you never gotta chase me down. Um I'm gonna always give you something that's gonna benefit you walking out, you know, not just a haircut. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give you something that's gonna encourage you, uplift you, the whole nine.
Facts.
You know, a man with a gift in his hands and stuff. You already know how they go.
Hmm.
So I mean, like all the boxes. When you come here, it's always clean. We don't have that type of environment where we talk about, X, Y, Z, whatever, whatever. It's always we building. We building
So
up
ain't
here.
no, big booty Judy conversation going on.
Oh no, no, no. We don't have them type of conversations.
Mm.
That's uh that's the immature talk.
Wow.
When you grown for real, and you understand what life is about. You're trying to build not only yourself but the next generation too.
Right.
So with me, it's like I fall in the middle. You got the youngsters, you got me, then you got the old folks, right? So what I do is I take the information from the old folks and I pass it down to the young folks. So
Hmm.
by the time they get my age, they thinking like the old folks. You see what I'm saying? And I
Gotcha.
think that's what we're supposed to be doing with our platform.
Passing it
Yeah,
on.
yeah, passing it on.
Hey, he go a left field question.
Hmm.
So like, what's the furthest most that you've done for a particular client?
Oh, one of my ex-clients, they're not my client no more, and that's only because I moved. When I had my barbershop in Tallulah, one of the kids had got cancer. And so he had to go to the children's home in Memphis. And before they performed his surgery, he needed a haircut.
Mm.
And so his family reached out, and I dropped everything and went to Memphis and went and cut his hair for him.
Man.
Made it straight.
And that was all. What? Let me guess. Was it out your pocket or did that family pay you for
Oh
that?
no, it was out of my pocket. Yeah, and then I didn't even charge them for the service. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what
Mm.
I do. That's what I do.
Good stuff.
Hmm. I'm talking about I felt in the same situation going down to LSU, going to go, cut hair for the players. On the same thing, I went down there to cut one of my clients I've been cutting for years, and when he did his NIL stuff, he structured it to where he still wanted to use his own barber.
Hmm.
And so, like, okay, bet we're gonna pack up the shop and we're gonna pull up at LSU. You know what I'm saying? And it went from cutting, one kid to 4 to 16 to 42 to 82 kids. You know what I'm saying? And that's been going on for like it went on for like 3 years until I just on my way back one day, Cicely Island, boy, I went to sleep and I was like, nah, I can't do this no
Yeah.
more. Too dangerous. But it was good anyway, because by that time he transferred and went to another school.
Mm.
Hmm. So, I done did a lot, man, making sure people get married, Oklahoma City, you know, they want me to come from Monroe to Oklahoma to cut the whole wedding party.
Mm.
Okay, I'm dropping everything. I'm on the way to Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying?
And let's talk about the stuff people, because everybody want to hear about the good stuff.
Hmm.
Man, what about the losses? Them L's you had to take.
Oh, I took a lot of them. I took a lot of them, but they were instructed losses though. It just wasn't like I'm doing something for somebody and then in the end I end up losing. Nah, it was more so like living over here in Monroe and then traveling back to my hometown over in Tallulah, you know. Well, part of my hometown anyway, because I was born in Delhi, raised in Tallulah. But um, but one day I was asleep. Now my wife had been trying to get me to stop traveling, to go cut hair for about 3 years. And I wasn't listening, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm building rapport, I'm making good money,
Making
taking
money,
care of the
right,
family,
right,
you know what
right.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And she was like, stop it. I'm like, stop.
Making
Like,
money,
you made that
you
up.
crazy.
Yeah, ain't no stop,
Mm-hmm.
And so one day it was actually on Christmas Eve, bro, 2014. Now, mind you, it's day before Christmas. I want to be at home with my family too.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I had that day I had cut like 62 people already, and I had 17 more waiting.
You said 62?
Yeah, 62.
Like
Yeah.
40, 50,
Yeah,
60.
62. 62.
That
And
day?
yeah, that day.
Wow.
And this is like a normal thing at the time, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, back then when I was doing it, oh man, it's 50 this day, 50 this day, 60 this, this was a normal thing. But for the holidays, like I said, I already cut 62 people. And then I had 17 more people waiting. Then this lady walked in, she had 4 boys. And she was like, Cole, can you cut my boys? I'm like, I dropped my head because I'm ready to go home, But now I'm thinking about the kids. So I'm like, yeah, I got you. Go and have a seat. So she had a seat. I'm in there getting the people out, as fast as possible. You know what I'm saying? I got a phone call, it was an old man on the phone. I'm like, hello? He's like, Cole, man, my wife said, you skipping her. And I'm thinking to myself, how I'm skipping her? And she was the last one to come in.
The last one, right.
Yeah, and I already had 17 people waiting before she showed up,
right.
So, at this point right here, now I'm drove. So I called Buddy. And I'm like, I told him, I said, hey, you getting a haircut today? He was like, yeah, I'm at the shop right now. I said, okay, just come by here right quick. So he came by. When Buddy had came by, I went in my pocket. I gave him enough money for his haircut and them 4 boys. And I told him they ain't gotta never come back, bro.
Man, that's crazy.
And I got on Facebook that day and I made an announcement, bro. Look, January 30th, 2015 gonna be my last day coming. At that point, I realized that the people was dealing with me because I was coming from Monroe there. But they didn't understand why I was doing it.
Right.
I was trying to provide something for them. But I felt like they were taking advantage of it. And once I started feeling like I was getting taken advantage of, that was a wrap. I couldn't do it. Brother, appreciate you. Have a good one. Yeah, so that was a wrap,
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a wrap.
Man. Yeah, man. So like, what life lesson that probably ain't got nothing to do with barbering you got for somebody who young? Just a random life lesson, man. Somebody.
Man, just be the best person that you can be, and always make sure your actions and intentions are based around how you want to be remembered. Simple as that. We ain't got to go into detail and all that stuff, but just those simple things. Just think about how you want to be remembered when you're making moves out here. Either you want to be remembered as a good person, stand-up guy, great individual, or you just want to be remembered as a whatever you decide,
That's good, strong stuff, man. Yeah, man. Man, I appreciate you like doing what you do anyways. Like you just a stand-up dude. You always have been ever since I met you. And like I say, we've been locked in since day one.
Oh yeah, since day one. This is a church house though.
Yeah.
It's the barbershop is the church house. This is my pulpit right here.
Yeah, hey, no collection plate.
No collection plate. Man of God.
Man of God.
Yeah, ain't no going on none of that.
All that. You know what I'm saying?
But I can promise you one thing though. I do a lot of reaching to people. Sometimes I call you for tag team. You got to come off the top rope on some of these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They be needing it. You know, they be needing it.
My boy, that's a wrap on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Mm-hmm.